Trying out the lemon cherry gelato from Happy Clouds Smoke Shop. You guys can check out my piece. Paddle piece. I need to clean it, I know. I don't want to hear a thing. Alright, that's a sativa, so we'll see how that goes right there. Very good taste though. What up, Dirt Cheap Homestead? That's a cool name. Fuck. Okay, let me give it a rating real quick. It actually has remnant flavors of lemon, so that's really cool. I'm gonna give the flavor 7.3 out of 10. There's something in there that's a little bitter that I don't like, but other than that, flavor's good. Gotta give it a sec for the stony baloney part. All right, in the meantime, we are going to watch what is to be expected for the weather of the summer and possibly the rest of the year. El Nino is a wind pattern that happens every now and then. This in particular just so happens to be a really big one.
This is what you would typically see in a typical type El Nino type pattern. The one on the bottom here, this is basically an more active subtropical jet stream.
Endorsed and defeated Miller in the March primary has been there.
I've been ostracized because I've been critical of the USDA.
Miller drew the ire of U.S. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins for saying ranchers may not report a case on their farm if they believe the government will impose a quarantine.
That is a very unserious comment from perhaps unserious ag commissioner.
Miller is urging the USDA to use more than just sterile flies to combat the pest.
This is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
That's not a real...
He wants them to use the screwworm adult suppression system, a bait insecticide technology that was developed in the 1970s. Primary insecticide used back then is linked to cancer, but Miller says there are other safe options now.
We can improve it and make it better if you want to, but we know it works. It's proven in the field. And no harm to the environment.
Use the chemical that kills it all the time.
There's a lot of finger pointing about how it got here and whether
what we use for mosquitoes. It's what we use for flies in general. Any form of diphtheria, they're all going to be affected by it.
American soil and
Of course they're gonna be going back and forth. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's this fault. Honestly, it's whoever cut the funding of most of the things that were preventing this.
In February 2025, the Trump administration reversed that decision amid protests from the cattle industry.
What does that have to do with immigration
There's
at
been
all?
some changes in
These
land
flies
usage
are not coming
in
on the
Panama,
backs of migrants.
that have also
America was propelled by people moving infected animals.
once you get active flies in an area, they then begin to transmit on their own.
Politicians on both sides of the aisle say the test from the cattle industry before closing the ports again 3 months later.
There's been some changes in land usage in Panama that kind of played a little bit of a role.
This is working because we're doing these steps right here to prevent. They never get around to that part. They always just say we're doing the most and it's the best, but it's not the best. It's never the best. So what the freak are they talking about?
Until next.
How do people believe them?
One producer in Panama, but that facility is maxed out at 100.
As time went on, I tried different things like this permethrin. I use a 1:20 ratio to treat all the surfaces. Doesn't hurt the bees if I do it before they actually build their nests. That's not all I use this for though. Using it at a 0.5% ratio, I can use it on my pants before I walk into tall grass. That deters ticks and chiggers from crawling on my pants and biting me. At the same 1:200 ratio, I can use it on poultry like my ducks, although I've never had a need to. I may even make a towel damp with it and run it over my livestock guardian dog Az. Just depends if I notice flies bugging him or something else. When I have it mixed up as a surface spray at the 1:20 ratio, in a garden sprayer with a good nozzle, I found it effective at eliminating bee and wasp nests. Just don't...
say the same thing.
It's a way of life.
Beef and barbecue are in the DNA of Texas.
Put it in a half can, Juanito.
Some say the increase in beef prices
It's Texas Angus beef.
are concerning as pitmasters like Russell Regal say they are paying $6.55 for a pound of prime grade brisket.
I've had friends who've lost their restaurants because of it, where they just weren't making enough to keep the doors open. And it's a fear for me on a daily basis.
I think we're at a point to where these are some of the highest prices we've ever seen.